Hi, I'm Matt Cullen. I'm one of the speakers at Selling with Hypnosis. And in this short video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Selling with Hypnosis is, how it's different from the other approaches to sales, and also, if you stick around, what will happen if you do decide to come to the training. And I really do hope that you do join us on the 1st of June. Now, my guess is that if you're watching this, chances are you work in sales, or maybe you'd like to. Perhaps you're starting a business and you're thinking, I really need to learn to sell to make my business successful. Also though, if you're on this page, the chances are that you're looking for some specific sales techniques. Maybe that's rapport building techniques, maybe it's information gathering techniques, or maybe it's closing techniques. Well, the good news is that you're in the right place, because Selling with Hypnosis really is about all of those techniques. But it's more than that as well. You see, Selling with Hypnosis is also a mindset. And the easiest way for me to explain this to you is probably just describe the history of this event. The other speaker at this event is Adam Cox. Now, Adam built his PR agency over the last 15 years using these hypnotic selling techniques. Started out as just Adam, just one guy on the phone making calls, doing business, and he's grown it into a large sales force. He has sales managers, he has a sales director. He doesn't even train his people in these techniques anymore. He's trained his managers to go out and train these techniques. Now, when I found that out, I said to Adam, listen, we've got to do a training together because these skills you have are so unique, so unusual. We have to take it to a wider audience so that you guys can learn to sell exactly like Adam does. And I really do think that Adam's approach to sales is quite unique because, to my mind, there are three different approaches to sales. So firstly, what you have is what you might call selling with pressure. And if you've ever bought something from a really pushy salesperson, you know what this is and you know how it feels to be on the receiving end of it as well. The next and more interesting type of sales training is what you might call selling with influence. And whereas selling with pressure is really about leaning on your customer to get them to make a decision, selling with influence is just applying leverage to their decision-making process. It's a lot more elegant, I think. A good example is if you say that there aren't really that many of whatever it is that you're selling, so that it's very scarce, it's in short supply. It creates the feeling in the customer that if they don't buy it now, they're going to miss out. So these techniques of influence, they're very powerful, but also you'll find them in a lot of different sales trainings now. The third, and to my mind the most interesting of all the techniques of sales, is selling with hypnosis. And selling with hypnosis is fundamentally different. But to understand why, you need to understand one thing about hypnosis, which is that really it's just the combination of two things. So firstly, you have these influence techniques. That's one of the things in hypnosis. But the second thing is the emotional states that you're creating for your customer, so that you know what state that they have to be in at different points of the sales process. And also you have specific techniques that will move them into these different states along the sales process. So it's significantly more powerful than just influence techniques on their own. And that's pretty much it. That's selling with hypnosis. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than I can fit into such a short video, but I don't want to keep you hanging around for too long. And I did promise that if you stayed to the end, you get to see what it's like to train with us. So here's some footage of a previous event, and at the end of it, there'll be some feedback from the audience of that event. I really hope you enjoy the footage, and I really hope to see you on the 1st of June at Selling with Hypnosis.
I love the unchain your mind. As soon as he said that, I thought, oh wow. And then as soon as he did the diagram, it kind of makes sense. And he said, has anyone else experienced this? And I wanted to say yes. I didn't, but I wanted to say yes because I have. And I really, that's when I woke up and I thought, wow, this is for me.
I think that the exercise that Matthew presented us taking part in were actually very good. They're very enjoyable. I felt I was building up some rapport rather rapidly with the person I was doing it with, which obviously must have been working.
I think he was brilliant, you know, it's very nice to see how he's passionate about NLP and how NLP changed his life as well. So, you know, it's a big inspiration for people who need help and they need to learn more about NLP. I think they should check him out.
I'd say that the best experience I had coming away from this event was learning about the importance of the use of voice in communication. And that will stay with me. That was a big takeaway for me.